Namaskar, dear learners and viewers. In this very special live streaming on school leadership development, and in this particular session, we talk about and we celebrate and appreciate the journey of a school head, their hard work and dedication towards their school. I am Renu Bhatt with you all. You are watching us live on eVidya channels, channel number 6, 9 and 12. And apart from these channels, you are with us on our YouTube channel as well, that is NCERT Official. And dear learners, as always, we have joined by our school head, and let me share the topic of the discussion. And we are going to discuss about leading student competencies in a government aided school in Meghalaya. So we have joined by our expert as well. So without any further delay, let's quickly meet them. You are Shrimati Gamchi Timre R. Marak. You are principal from EduShare Higher Senior Secondary School, William Nagar. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Good
we have
evening, and I'm very happy to be here. Very much honored that I'm sharing your screen, and I'm very happy to tell you about my school.
And ma'am, pleasure is all ours, and we have joined by our other experts as well. So let's meet them too. You are Dr. Shadma Absar. You are assistant professor from National Center for School Leadership, NIEPA. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Warm welcome.
And we have joined by Dr. Tanushri Mahalik as well. You are senior consultant from National Center for School Leadership, NIEPA. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And dear learners and viewers, in case you want to know more about her journey and her strategies and hard work, you can reach out to us through our various mediums. All the viewers, whether you are teacher educator or school principals, you can join us through our telephone number. You can call us on our telephone number, that is 8800 Either you can drop a mail as well. Our email address is flashing on your television screen. You can either use dth.class6@ciet.nic.in, either 9 or 12 as well. And if you have joined by our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official, you have to go to the live chat box and then only you can drop your comment out there. Our experts will be happy to answer all your queries and doubts if you have any. And if you want to share your experience as well, we would appreciate your efforts. So ma'am, without any further delay, Gamchi ma'am, we would love to hear you more about your school, and we would like to know about your school. Please tell us about your school context and characteristics, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to start with a story. In 1987, my husband Gerald Karpuri got a government job in William Nagar, and so our family moved here. And the moment we moved here, I was offered many teachers' jobs. But because my son was still very small, I declined. Then Town Baptist Church, they wanted to open a school. And so they requested me to help them. And when my child was still small, I declined. But when my child was 2 years old, I relented and I helped the Town Baptist Church to open one school. That was Town English Nursery School. Then later on it was called, it came to be called as Green Yard, and now it is Higher Secondary School. But I worked for 5 years and I resigned to pursue my professional studies. At that time, the community, they did not let me go. They wanted another school because there was very less schools here in William Nagar. So they wanted me to open the school. Now the backdrop of William Nagar, first I would like to say, William Nagar it became a subdivision, and this William Nagar town is made up mostly of government offices and government quarters. So the residential areas were out in the outskirts and in the neighboring villages. And therefore, very few children were coming to school. At that time, there was a few schools like Rongrengri Government School, Trinity School, and it was called Kindergarten School, one school, and then another, I think few LP schools were there.
Ma'am,
So
I
at
would
that
request...
time, I think Sacred Heart had also started. So at that time, the requirement was great for many more good schools. So therefore, when the community, they told me to open the school, to help them to open the school, I knew the need, and therefore, like the community pulled in their resources. One, Humphrey Areng, he had a land here in Kusampol, and he built one school building, and then he rented it out to us. And so likewise, all the other community members, they pulled their resources. So some stationers, um, they gave us stationaries on credit, and some who had furniture shops, they
Ma'am,
also they supplied lots of furnitures right from class pre-nursery to class 3. They supplied furnitures, and then there were many others who pulled in resources, and so the school came into being in 1994.
Ma'am,
So
Gamji ma'am, can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, I would like to take your attention to your present school, wherein we want to know about the socio-economic background of children and what were the challenges you had in bringing children to the school. We
Yes,
would
ma'am.
like to know the challenges and the socio-economic background of the children.
So at that time, those who were government employees, they don't send their children here. Mostly they send their children to Tura because they are based there, and some maybe in Shillong or elsewhere in the cities. So mostly those who came to the school were from underprivileged background, and very few privileged background. So it was quite a very uphill task maintaining the school, because we had to pay off all the credits, and it was very, very difficult. And so me and my teachers, we undertook fundraising programs like having fetes on during exhibitions, and then many other fundraising programs, so that we could somehow maintain the school. So in that way, children were coming from the villages. They were socially, in that way, backward, we can say. They were the first learners, first generation learners, and it was very difficult for them because there were no bridges across the Samsang River, because William Nagar town is along the longest river in Garo Hills, that is Samsang River.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, coming to your challenges at the school level, what were the challenges when children were here in the school? Were there any challenges related to infrastructure, teachers, and other things in the school?
Yes, ma'am. There were lots of challenges. I would like to tell you the stories of so many children who came to me. One was visually impaired. She could not see. She had been affected by childhood chickenpox, and so her eyes, they could not see at all. But the parents, they refused to take her to special school. They just brought her to me to take care of her. So somehow, personally, we had to give her attention, and somehow now she has already graduated. She's doing undergraduate studies in William Nagar Government College. Likewise, there are children who had single parents and had psychological disorders. And another child, during the insurgency, the father was kidnapped, and till now his whereabouts is not known. And likewise, there are few, those who are very sick, who could not study. But because of our care, we mentored them, and later on, she could not even stand in the sun during assembly. But we made her strong, in the sense that we made her mentally strong. And later on, before she left the school, she was playing sports and everything, and she passed out. And now she is also a graduate and is a teacher. So likewise, there are so many others. Some are having learning disabilities, and they have been failing everywhere.
So do you have somebody?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a psychologist or a counselor to help them, or you do it at your own level only, ma'am?
Ma'am, when Sarva Shiksha was started, there were few trainings which were given to the teachers. But teachers, they did not stay. They went on to better jobs. So in this way, we do not have expert or trained teachers to deal with all these children. But in our own capacity, we made the school a need-based school, and according to each need, we were looking after the children. So likewise, those who have psychological disorders, when we could not help them, we called counselors from counselors from social welfare department, and when the child protection office came, district child protection office came, then they came and they helped us. They took sessions with them, and later on these children also they became good, they passed out, and now they're pursuing their further studies.
Okay, okay. Now, before we come to your, initiatives, we would like to know that what is the enrollment in your school at present, and how many years of experience as a school head you have?
My experience, ma'am?
As a school head.
I had 5 years experience in the first school, and now 25 years, 30 years in this school.
So is there any change in the enrollment? The enrollment has increased in your school during this time?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when there are so many schools within the radius of 1.5 kilometers to 2 kilometers, there are around 15 schools, and not to talk about the LP schools. So it's quite a challenging thing, because normally students, they go to school where they can get free education, say like Sarva Shiksha schools and LP schools and government schools. So since we were not getting any, at one point of time, we did not get any government funds. We had to take fees to run the school. But later on in 2015, we were granted science grant. So our school was given opening permission in 2002, and then we got recognition in 2009.
Okay, okay. So, ma'am, let's come to your initiatives. We will begin the presentation now that you had shared with us. So, I request the technical team to kindly share the presentation on the screen.
Can we have that presentation on screen?
Yes.
This is
Before we begin, ma'am, one more question I wanted to ask you is that what is your vision for the school? Before we begin the initiatives and looking at the challenges in the backdrop that you have discussed here, what is your vision for the children in your school?
My children, there are different categories of children. Some are coming for quality education, innovative education, and some are mostly dropouts, failures, problem children who come to me for help. And then again, there are children with special needs, and then those so many with hidden disabilities, and finally the marginalized, especially deserted single parents. We are helping, we are sponsoring also.
Okay.
And so our enrollment, previously it came, say, first year when we opened it was 100, then second year is 200. So later on it reached 300. But since there are so many schools, it didn't grow beyond that. But now, since last year, it has grown beyond. This year, now we are still expecting class 11, but as of now, around 420 we have at the moment.
So, but, as the title of our topic suggests, like you are leading student competencies. So we would like to know, we will be sharing the screen presentation on the screen, and we would like to know that with each photograph that we are showing here, what competencies do you aim at in building competencies among children? So like you have to tell the event and the competencies along with it.
Yes, because there are different needs of children, like some are all like psychological disorders or learning disabilities and all that. So I started this innovative way of teaching. Like I started adapting the whole brain learning approach. So we are not dealing only with the left brain, which is academics. We are dealing with the right brain, which is colors, rhythms, all those things. So in this way, like this Taekwondo, it is a stress buster. Besides, it teaches focus, concentration, then health and wellness, then self-defense, And so children, like if they're stressed also, they can release their stress through this taekwondo. So taekwondo is incorporated. Everybody has to, they have classes. And this one is tree plantation by the our school guides on Environment Day. So we don't just, and this one, so we don't just have tree plantation only on Environment Day. We have school forest nursery where children are taught how to plant saplings in what way, and they are encouraged to grow this plant. So we give one plant each to children, and then we give away to community also. Whoever comes and they want to take, we give freely. So they have planted along the road and in strategic places like tourist place which is called Memo Lake, and likewise in many other strategic spots we have planted this flowering trees for beautification and also for environment. This is my motivation class. Since we are very hard up for time schedule, since we have to rush for syllabus, only during this holidays, summer holidays, it's like summer camp. I take class myself. I try to motivate the children using the strategies used by Adam Koo, who is an NLP practitioner. His whole life is a very good example to children. And NLP is like a psychotherapy. It is following the strategies of the models who are successful and also to become successful themselves.
Okay.
So we don't just train our own teachers, we try to collaborate with other schools. So here we had invited the Macmillan Publishing Company to come and give us training on NEP. So here there are a few schools from around William Nagar. So in this way, like we build rapport and then we build understanding and also like professional learning community also.
Ma'am, other than this, what measures do you take to provide opportunities of professional development to teachers in your school?
Ma'am, I personally, since I'm professionally trained, I took my professional training of B.Ed, and also I have been trained as a leader in many platforms like RMSA, then DRT, then Diesel. So I had 3 trainings on leadership, and therefore I myself, I train my teachers every day. I call them to my office and I ask their problems. I try to handhold them. I try to guide them and mentor them. And time to time, I give orientation. So after recruiting teachers, I induct them and I give orientation and also give them training. Then for continuous professional development, I allow them to join any this thing online training like DLED or B.Ed. So they continue their professional development courses, and then they get qualified. Even if it is quite expensive to study all these professional trainings, and so very few people get the chance to study in government establishments, institutions, and so what I do is I call trainers from DRT sometimes, from Diet sometimes, and from companies sometimes, and I myself time to time I give them training.
Ma'am, please say something about Ripon slide.
Which one, ma'am?
The slide on the screen.
It's gone off, ma'am.
Okay.
These are the teachers, like this is incentive for teachers. Like we try to build each other up. So there are very good teachers, very hardworking, and the whole year they really don't take any holidays except for sickness or for exams or for some other family issues. So end of the year, we try to go to tourist places. Here we had gone to the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve. This is also a national park, and so here we went inside to study and to get experience and also to refresh ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. What initiatives did you take to maintain continuity in learning and mitigate learning gaps during COVID-19 pandemic?
During COVID-19, what we did was we took online classes, but that was not very successful because many children did not have access to smartphones. And so what we did, we started this contact program. We reached out to children, not only this online, but we went to the houses of children. Since we could not go to each child, what we did was, according to the proximity, we called the children together of that specific area, and then we try to take class. Because Corona, it gave us the uncertainty to the children. They did not want to study, they did not know their future. And so even very best children, they were dropping out and they did not come for contact classes to the school. I asked permission from our deputy commissioner, and then we had, by observing protocols, we had a contact program in the school. We called them and we took classes especially for class 10. And so those children who were dropping out, we sent counselors also to talk to them, and we brought them back. And that specific particular person who was good in studies but was dropping out, he did very well in SSLC, and he, if I remember correctly, he got 3 letters. Despite that, also in science, maths, I don't remember, but 3 letters he got. So in this way, we reached out during Corona, and even though children, they did not know the certainty, they were not willing to come to school, we tried to reach out and try to give them some semblance of education so that they can hope. And we kept on, we gave them hope that everything will be all right and they have to continue their studies. So in this way, we try to plug the learning gap during Corona.
Okay, so let us watch a video that ma'am had shared with us. Ma'am had been awarded National Award for Teachers in the year 2022. So a short glimpse of that video we would like our school heads to see.
मेघालय के ईस्ट गांव में दूसरे हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल की शिक्षिका है श्रीमती कंची केंद्रे। ये ग्रामीण, दुर्गम और खनन क्षेत्रों के बच्चों को मदद करने के लिए काम कर रही है। नवीन शिक्षण कार्यक्रमों की शुरुआत की ताकि इन बच्चों को शराब, घरेलू हिंसा और कम उम्र में विवाह जैसी सामाजिक बुराइयों से बाहर निकाला जा सके। श्रीमती कंची केंद्रे को बतौर शिक्षिका राष्ट्रीय सम्मान 2022 से सम्मानित किया जाता है।
Thank you, ma'am.
Another video we have is of students. We would like to play that video first and then we will discuss over it.
This is Taekwondo during sports. Here they learn the techniques and then they fight it out. So it's not only a sport, but they put and they got medals in tournaments. So this is skills training by master trainers. So this one is weaving, the other one is with carving. There's a class 10 students, they are learning some skills. At least the continuous weaving is done. And so since we weave our own takmanda or the lungi that we wear, so they have been given some sensitization, and this is music.
Okay. So, you have been a resource person for various workshops and capacity building program as well. Uh, you have been training teachers and school heads from Meghalaya and build their capacities as well. The slide on the screen shows, I think, a health checkup at your school.
Yes, ma'am. Just recently also we had health checkup of all the children.
Okay.
And the other one is during Corona, we mobilize community so that we can help the administration and also the health department. And so from the Scout and Guide, we have donated, I think, 300 number of masks for the health workers.
Okay, in the community. So you, in this way, you engaged with the community and the school helped the community as well. So
Yes,
how
ma'am.
does the community helps the school? I wanted to ask that
ma'am.
only. How
Pardon, ma'am?
how do you engage with the community? How does the community help the school through school?
Community members are our SMC members.
Yes.
And whenever they need our resources, we help them. Whenever sometimes we give health awareness, road shows and everything. And then they come and teach us traditional dances, songs, and then some members, they come and give awareness and give motivation and inspirational talks to children to inspire them to do well in their studies and perform to the best of their abilities.
Okay. A few student achievements, ma'am. A few examples, like you were giving one or two in the beginning of the session. We would like to know a few student achievement from your side. Maybe 2 or 3 students who have done good in their life after they passed out from your school.
Yes, ma'am. After they passed out from my school, they had gone for further studies in some areas. Like one boy in fisheries, he got 2 gold medals. And one boy in MA horticulture, he got 1 gold medal. And a few children, they have topped in the state. My own daughter got 7th position in education, in MA education. And one of my students got 5th position in the state in English.
Okay, okay. So we had one photo of this girl as well in your presentation.
Yes, she's a lawyer. She is now a member of District Legal Services Authority. This was just recently taken during our Women's Day celebration. Wherever I meet my old students, I like to take photograph with them and I project them and I show where they have reached in their lives. So it's a very proud moment for me. Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, when you say quality education to children of these, what you talked about, these deprived or marginalized children, what do you mean? I mean, what skills and competencies do you want to develop in them? A little bit more elaboration on that. What skills and competencies you want to develop in them? We have seen various means through which you do, like you had shared motivational classes, initiative of taekwondo and other things, but what skills and competencies you want to inbuild in your children?
In the beginning, when I started a teacher's job, I was not professionally trained, but I wanted the children from here to learn well, thoroughly, and whatever they know. I don't teach from book, from cover to cover, but whatever they learn, I want them to learn well, so that they will understand the concepts well, and then they will be able to write well, understand, write, speak well. So in this way, most of my children from before, they have really done very well. Then later on, when I adopted this school as a need-based school, when parents, they start knowing that my school is looking after all the dropouts, all the failures, and giving them a new lease of life. Now many children, they come, so I don't close my door right from pre-nursery, nursery. Of course, those pre-nursery nurseries, they are fresh children, but right from class 1 to class 12, 10, I give admission to everybody as long as I can give them space. So you see, they have very poor background. They don't have any competency at all. They don't have basic skills of reading, writing, or simple arithmetic. So for such children, we really had to look after them well, teach them well. So my teachers are very good. They're really like, we all work together. We have student profiles, and then each child's weaknesses and strengths are already noted down, and every child's progress is noted. Even if a child with learning disability, their whatever little progress they make is also is celebrated. So in this way, we have Down syndrome children. We have we have so many like autism or many other hidden disabilities and learning disabilities. We are not experts. We are not trained. I have already given my name for training, but it has not been executed. So in the meanwhile, whatever we can do, first thing is we accept the child as he or she is, and we try to know their needs, what they can do, what they're capable of, and then we don't force them to learn what they cannot. So we just allow them to learn at their own pace, and we don't fail them also.
Okay.
So in this way, we encourage, and it depends. Like some, they don't have basic knowledge at all. Some they have qualities, but because they are not monitored, they are not guided, so they fail. When they come here, we really monitor them, mentor them, coach them, and so they do very well. So these children with behavioral problem also, they are doing very well. And then so we look at the competency like knowledge, skill, values, and like emotional or soft skills. So in this way, like we try to incorporate everything so that they will be not only qualified, but they will be a good human being. They will also be patriotic. They will love their brothers and sisters, citizens, be a good citizen, and also be a resourceful people in society.
That's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. Dr. Tanushree, I think ma'am had shared with us regarding an initiative that she takes in her school is about professional learning communities. So I think, would you like to ask her about?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you use professional learning communities in your school?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you use professional learning communities in your school?
First and foremost, we group the teachers according to the subject, and then like there are new teachers, there are experienced teachers, and so like they help each other, especially those who need help. The senior teachers, they will help them. So the way how they are delivering their instructions, whether their content is good or whether the person is capable or efficient, whether his teaching is effective or not, all these things are helped by the professional learning communities.
Ma'am, how often do you have these PLC meetings? How often do you have these PLC meetings?
PLC meeting as regularly as possible. So of course it is not possible every month, but in 2 or 3 the thing we have, but it doesn't mean that we don't have meetings. I call my teachers every day during small breaks. We talk, we discuss what the problems they're having, and then we try to pull in ideas, and then we try to help each other. So in this way, even though we do not have PLC meeting very often, I'm approachable to my teachers, and especially I check their notes, I check their books, and like so in this way I guide them. I look at the content and the way they're delivering. So in this way, we have a good community as a school also, if not subject-wise professional learning community.
That's a wonderful initiative, ma'am, and it is a initiative of peer learning as well. So we learn from each other, and we learn from each other's mistakes as well. So Just now you said during your reflection just now that you are very approachable to the teachers. I just wanted to know how approachable you are to the students, ma'am. I mean,
I'm approachable to the students also. If they have anything to hide, if they have some problem, they come and tell me, and so I try to solve the problem. I'm very strict disciplinarian because I have to guide the children in the right way. But even then, they know that I love them. They know that I care for them. So they know that with me, they will amount to something. So they come anytime. Small children will come, big children will come. They come and tell me their problems. And even those who have passed out also, when they're having stress and strain, when their courses are very tough, then they call me, then I try to help them. And even those children who are not my own students, if they go study somewhere and they need help, they always call me. So in this way, I'm approachable.
oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, ma'am. Just my last question to you, because the session is going to end very soon. So I wanted to know, ma'am, what leadership attributes a school leader must have, to deal with such diverse challenges that you had shared with us. What leadership attributes a school leader must have? Because this program of ours is majorly watched by our school heads in the country. So our school heads must get some attributes from you so that they can also develop those attributes in them.
In my experience, like I don't even have a car. I am very humble, and I go everything myself. I do everything myself. So in this way, first and foremost, I'm a leader. I'm a risk taker, and whatever is right, I execute it without any fear. Then I show by example. I teach my teachers, and if I have to clean during this cleaning drive also, I myself will clean with the children so that our teachers also will follow. So in this way, we have to be visionary, and especially now children, they have got new challenges, modern challenges and complexities. To face that, we have to make them, equip them with 21st century learning skills. And for that, even teachers have to learn what to teach, how to equip the children. If children's challenges, children's expectation has to be filled, and therefore teachers also, they have to be equipped. And therefore I motivate the teachers. I always give them the training also, and pep talk also, and encourage also. So in this way, I never rest. I'm looking after pre-nursery till class 12. I look after the parents' needs, expectations also, and teachers' needs also. So all the categories I'm trying to balance. I don't just look after the children, or I don't just fight for the teachers. I balance, and I try to help everyone. So in this way, a leader has to be a risk taker, and must not be scared to adopt new ideas, innovative ideas, and then execute them.
And very rightly said, ma'am. Leader has to have all those qualities that you have just said and shared. It's quite inspiring and interesting to know from you, ma'am, your journey. Thank you so very much for sharing all your things and experiences and your journey to all of us, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Good to have you in our session, ma'am. Thank you
so much for having me.
Pleasure is all ours, ma'am. And thank you so very much, Shadma ma'am, and thank you so very much, Tanushree ma'am, for being here in the studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Renu.
And dear learners and viewers, it's time for me to wrap up this session here only, but you stay tuned to eVidya channels and NCERT official YouTube channel for more informative programs. Me, Renu Bhatt, along with my whole team, is taking your leave. Stay healthy. Namaskar.